pistol on the seat of my Chevy pickup truck. And I'm taking these gravel roads as fast as my truck will go. I'm running like a scared whitetail buck. It was an all-night card game with Earl, Ray, and Bobby, some old boy they worked with from AAR. That boy didn't like me. Then he said I was cheating. Gunshots rang out on the midnight air. I don't want to see the daylight, but my Becky's alone tonight. I wonder if she's waiting up for me. I'm gonna hide out in the bottom where I hunted deer and turkey. I know that swamp like the back of my hand. Hell, I was born and raised here, just wanted to be a good old boy. I never thought I'd ever be a wanted man. But soon they gonna catch me. Ain't no way around that, 'cause I don't know any other place to hide. I wonder if Becky's Bible is still in the glove box, 'cause I'm sure gonna need it if that boy dies. I don't want to see the daylight, but my Becky's alone tonight. I wonder if she's waiting up for me. Sometime tomorrow morning, when I ought to be fishing, they'll probably be hauling me in. I'll be sitting in the jailhouse, no need to be wishing I'll ever get to fish the Green River again. I'll be praying for some daylight while my Becky's alone at night. I wonder if she's waiting up for me. I wonder if she's waiting up for me.
Greg, you got a copy, dude?
Hey, man.
Paul Markel's going to be calling in here in a couple minutes.
All right.
Sorry, I had to get some Chris Knight in there. He's got several great albums, man.
That's fine. I just walked in here. I was having to help FedEx.
Help FedEx. Left my beer bottle right along my pistol on the seat of my Chevy pickup truck. I'm running down this gravel road just as fast as my truck can go. I'm running like a scared whitetail buck.
So guess who's back in Facebook jail already?
How did that happen?
I made a comment. You know that thing that they promoted out of Pennsylvania as the health secretary or whatever?
Uh-huh.
I made a comment below a meme about it. I said, this is just a busted tranny. Got 30 days for it.
Oh, Greg.
I'm very close to deactivating my account. Very close.
Yeah, it ain't gonna be long. I'm telling you, I'm convinced the next multi-billionaire is out there. Maybe 10 years old, maybe 5 years old, maybe 55 years old. That's going to get us out of this Facebook, Twitter BS. I'm telling you, that invention's coming, and when it does, it's going to transform everything.
I'm actually considering building a server and having server space that people can use.
People are tired of this stuff. They're tired of social media. If you look at Twitter now, it's nothing but a left-wing cesspool echo chamber. And people are tired of it. They take Trump out of there. I mean, you look at people like CNN, Chris Chaliza, and the rest of these losers. Without Trump, they got nothing. They got nothing.
You see the the GOP is saying, or the RNC is saying that they're not going to back Trump. They're going to leave. They're going to remain neutral. All right. You'll remain nothing afterwards.
You got Paul in yet?
Yeah, he's on hold.
All right, awesome. And let me know that 30 seconds in here. That's funny you got thrown back in there.
I was out 6 days.
All right, Facebook streamers, you got a live video here? Mine's locked up. I'm just checking to see if yours is live. You see movement, you see action, right? You got it going on, right? Let me know. Somebody just give me a yep, I got it. Just send me a yes on there. I'm going to go back to the break screen. Thank you. Martin, yes, sounds good to me, brother. Thank you. Sounds good, guys. Okay. Today's drink is a Coca-Cola coffee blend. I've never had it before, but it's pretty good. I didn't have time to get anything brewed.
Yeah, it looks like I've got you as well.
All right, so you got movement, right? Hold on. Get in there.
It just shows the X insurance now, and we're coming up on 30.
You got me? Got the fingers moving?
No, I don't have that. 30.
Well, it's delayed.
This is Armed American Radio's Daily Defense.
Armed American Radio's Daily Defense. Because they don't want me to, that's why I do it.
Presented by X Insurance. X Insurance. From the gunbroker.com studios on the Crossbreed Holsters Platinum microphone.
They're never going to stop us here.
It's 2021, and we're in a new decade. Here is your host, the loudest conservative voice in America fighting the enemies of freedom, Mark Walters.
How the heck are you? Welcome inside Armed American Radio's Daily Defense, the gunbroker.com studios on the Crossbreed Holsters Platinum microphone. You can see it behind me here if you're watching live stream today. If you are watching live stream, please like and share the post. We appreciate that very much. I am Mark Walters, filling your prescription for freedom today and every day, 6 days a week, 5 days on this Daily Defense weekday show. Every single bit of it being sponsored and presented to you by X Insurance. X Insurance is a superior product. I had some conversations about X today. They're getting ready to write up some pro gun rights events, and the gimmicky self-defense things can't do that. But when you go to a pro-gun event, a large pro-gun event, there's going to be a very strong possibility that X Insurance is actually covering that event because they're a real insurance company. They can do the same thing for your life and your business they do for mine, both. I'm going to go right smack to the phones. I'm going to forego anything else because I've got this. As you know, this is the fastest hour in daytime radio. Paul Markel, student of the gun, jumps in with me today. Paul, how are you?
I appreciate you coming to me fast.
You
Thank
like
you
that,
very
right? I'm drinking usually I'm drinking a Defender coffee today, but I'm not today. I'm trying something different because it was given to me. And I had never seen it before, but it's a Coca-Cola with coffee, the dark blend. I've never seen that before. So hold on a second here. Let's hold tight. Oh, look, that's a Fighting Solves Everything mug on camera.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that little student of the gun in the background. It's actually pretty good, but it's still a weird combo, Coca-Cola and coffee. It's not something I would ever go, ooh, that coffee's good. Go get me a can of Coke. Or, ooh, that can of Coke is good. Go pour some coffee in it. But it's unique. It's okay.
Is it real Coke or is it corn syrup Coke?
No, it's real Coke with sugar. This is going to have. It's not the Mexican stuff. High fructose corn syrup. It's not got cane sugar, but it's good. It's fairly refreshing. Hey, Paul, let me explore something with you today off the cuff.
All right.
And for transparency, I've not talked to Paul about this. He has no idea I'm going to ask him this. I asked Dave Workman this yesterday. But, Paul, there's a lot of talk in both social media and chatter out and about that I've decided to start exploring going into the future as we are now faced with a Biden administration. And that is the gun community. And I had a couple conversations with some very active people in the gun community, legitimately in the gun community, gun rights activists. They do the right things. They vote the right way. They vote their guns, okay? But, Paul, how do you define the gun community? When you hear, well, those of us in the gun community have to open our arms. Here's where I'm going with this. I believe there are a lot of, you're not in the gun community, in my estimation, just because you own a gun, yet you believe everything that is morally repugnant to me. You're not going to come over to my house for dinner. I don't want anything to do with you. Just because you own a gun doesn't make you part of my community, or does it?
No, it doesn't. Not
Good.
At all.
Thank you.
And most people, when they talk about the C words, they say there's the gun community and then there's the gun culture, and you say, oh, it's the same thing, right? No, not really. What the NRA does and what the NRA's been doing for the longest time is they've been running this open tent policy. And I've addressed this before, but I'll go ahead and do it again. We want everyone in our tent. We want red and yellow, black and white. They are precious.
No, we don't.
Like, you remember Sunday school, right?
Yeah.
We want everyone. We want Democrats, and we want this and that. Name your niche group, your niche group. Name the group, whether it's women or black gun owners or Asian gun owners or gay gun owners or transgender gun owners or whatever, blah, 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 blah. We want an open tent because what have we been told for years and years and years and years and years? And we bought it. We drank it just like freaking Jim Jones's Flavor Aid. We drank it down because, quote, the more gun owners there are, the better it is for us. The more gun owners there are, the better chance we will have to be free and independent and blah, 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 blah.
Paul Markel.
The year 2020 marked historically the highest number of private gun sales and gun owners in the history of our nation. There's no disputing it. There's no denying it. It's a fact. And so, what do we know? Compare that. So we have the highest number of gun owners in our country's history. Would you agree with me on that, Mark? Would you say that's a true statement?
I would say, based on everything that I've seen, that's absolutely a valid statement to make, yes.
Okay, so we have more guns in private owners' hands than ever before. Now, juxtapose that with today. Tell me that today, on January 28th, 2021, that we have more freedom, that our freedoms are more secure today than they ever have been in the history of our country.
I can't.
Go ahead and tell me that.
I can't.
No, you can't.
I can't with
Because
let me preface it with this. I can't with a straight face.
No,
Okay.
because we've gobbled down this bull crap lie. We've deluded ourselves by thinking, well, if they own a gun, then they're de facto patriots. If they own a gun, then they're de facto on our side. If they own a gun, they're willing to, quote, fight for freedom. That's obviously not the case. That is the difference between a gun community, which is, gee, I own a gun. Look at me. I'm part of your club. And a gun culture that understands liberty.
All right. So the distinction that you're making is community versus culture. We'll call it the two C's, the twin, because they're not twins, the two C's. Let me give you an example of this. I was at the Force Center, Trademark Range down in Immokalee, Florida for the last 5 days. I got back on Tuesday. Was down there with X Insurance, had a big booth, met a lot of people who I would normally have seen at SHOT Show, but because there was no SHOT Show, they were there. It did 2 days of interviews, put out a big Sunday program, live to tape. It was great. Lots of gunfire in the distance. Now, if you were to walk down to the range and see somebody, a young lady or a young man or old lady, black, white, yellow, Hispanic, it makes no difference. Green alien, makes no difference. Shooting down range, you could say to yourself, it looks like that person belongs to the gun community because we're at this event and this person is shooting maybe a suppressed fully auto, M4. But underneath the jacket she was wearing, because it's cold, might be a Biden-Harris shirt. Does that make her a part of the gun community or part of the gun culture? I would argue that she could be a part of the gun culture because she likes guns and is shooting and enjoys that, but she's not a part of the community if, in fact, she voted for Biden-Harris. Now, I can hear some liberal gun owners are out there right now, just their heads popping. But here's what I'm getting ready to tell you. Don't you dare call yourself a gun rights activist while you're pulling the lever for the people that want to take your guns. You have other issues that are more important to you than your guns and the guns that we're fighting here to protect. And we're going to protect yours too, believe me, because you're not voting your gun rights. Explain that. Am I convoluted? Am I out in left field? I want Paul Markel to tell me this.
You said they're part of the gun culture, but not the community, and I would say it's the opposite.
Okay,
So,
that would be based on the definition of community and culture. We might be saying the same things, but defining it, maybe I need to change my definition of, and this is what I'm exploring. This is what I want to talk with you about today.
The community thing, the community terminology is one that the NSSF throws around.
We're dropping Paul. Paul, I want to make sure that you got a good connection there because this conversation is too important. Can you come back to us? All right, we're going to be taking
on him in a break.
All right, how much time before the break?
We're at 30.
Okay, 30 seconds before the break. So we're going to work with Paul Markel during the break to make sure that we don't. Because this conversation is too important, and it's something that I intend on talking about. Probably throughout an entire Biden administration, because we're going to get plenty of examples of this with a left-wing government and people trying to say, hey, I can do both. And I'm going to tell you that you can't. And I'm going to stand by that because I've been telling you that for 12 years. And I'm never going to waver. I'm never going to falter on that, ever, ever, ever. You'll always know what you get with me here. I'm not going to change my tune there. There are people out there that are saying we need to change our tune. No. I don't need to change a damn thing. Nothing. Ever. You know why? Because I'm right. We'll be back with Paul Markel after this. Don't go away. Hey, Greg.
Yes?
All right. He's coming from his studio, I think. He should be pretty solid.
I don't know. Let me check with him.
Okay.
Hang on. All right, yeah, he says he's where he usually is, so we'll just give it a try this next segment. Maybe it's the CIA.
Could be NSA. Got a couple people mentioning it's the NSA.
Yeah.
No, this is going to be a fun conversation as we go forward. I'm getting ready to put pen to the paper on this and get some columns out about this as we move forward. But there's some research I'm doing here because I want to be able to back up what I'm saying here. And well, I can back it up. I'm not worried about that. But I want it to be bulletproof. So it's going to be a fun topic of conversation going forward from a lot of different people. Had Zoe's Kitchen for lunch. You ever heard of a Zoe's Kitchen?
I think we got one out here.
I'll tell you what, it's fresh. We eat there quite a bit. Took my bride out to lunch today. We did I eat it every time I'm there. I can't get myself to get anything else. But I do the falafels, you know?
Yeah.
Do the falafel and the pita. Really, really good. Ron Adolph, you make a great point, and that's kind of where I'm going with this. As you've probably heard me say, and I'll mention this when we come back, that you can be, well, I don't take it away. I'll go there when we come back. I've said it for years, but I like the way you phrase it. It breaks it down a little bit better maybe than I did, so we'll mention that when we come back from the break. Yeah, Zoe's is a Mediterranean. And they've got 3 or 4 different kinds of hummus. That's the freshest I've had. Man, it's really good.
Yeah, like I said, I believe I've seen Zoe's here in the Metroplex. I just have never stopped in.
The Metroplex.
In the DF dub.
The Metroplex. You know, when you say the Metroplex, you have to break it down like a movie thing. Yeah, they got a Zoe's. I think I've seen one here in the Metroplex, but I'm not sure where I saw it.
In the Metroplex.
It was somewhere out there in the Metroplex.
All right, we're close. 30.
This upcoming segment of Armed American Radio is being sponsored by Gunbroker.com, the world's largest online marketplace to buy and sell firearms, ammo, and related accessories. That's Gunbroker.com. Welcome back to the show.
Welcome back to, there it is, Gunbroker.com behind me. This is the Gunbroker.com studios. And this segment, well, the whole show's being sponsored by Gunbroker, but they broke out this segment too. Gunbroker.com, if you can't find it on your store shelves, and you probably can't, you can find it at Gunbroker.com. For sure, they've got it. And, of course, this is the Crossbreed Holsters microphone, and all this is being presented to you today by X Insurance, a superior product to the gimmicky stuff. Grow up, get rid of the gimmicky stuff, the member stuff, benefit stuff, and get real insurance just like you have for your house, your cars, your boats, your business, your toys, your lifestyle, the real deal. You heard CEO Rick Lindsay of X Insurance when we were with him for 5 days down there, and, of course, broadcasting from the X Insurance office in Naples, Florida. It's the real deal. Xinsurance.com. Go down, scroll down, get yourself a quote, and start building a policy that works for you. And forget the free range bag and all the emails, and get a real insurance policy, okay? It's time to grow up. Paul Markel, student of the gun, welcome back. We got you now, bud?
I think so.
Okay, good. It sounds like you're in I know you're in your studio, so it's unusual that we would lose you. All right, let's do this. A couple things.
I got a question for you, Mark.
Yeah, please, go ahead.
Who's going to give it to you?
Who's going to give what to me?
X
X is going to give it to you.
X is going to give it to me.
X going to give it to you.
X going to give it to you. X going to give it to you.
That's right. All right. You're hip.
Sometimes you scare me, Paul. I don't want to. Sometimes
your producer is on the floor right now, holding his stomach. but it's okay. So what did you want to ask me?
All right. I like where you're going with the community culture thing. And I think this is a discussion that we're going to have going forward. And let me mention something here. I've got a great quote here from one of the commenters that's watching. Liberal gun owner equals just firearms owner. Firearms owner who stands up for their firearms rights equals Second Amendment activist. And I like the way Ron phrased that. Ron, thank you for that. Here's why. Because over the years on the show, Paul, as you know, I'm sure I've said it with you too, you cannot be a gun rights activist and pull the lever for Obama. That's what I used to say during the Obama years on this, but you can't. You cannot be a gun rights activist actively fighting for your gun rights, which means my gun rights, while pulling the lever for the party that wants to take my guns. Or am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. It's ridiculous. It's not about objects. It's about allegiance.
See? So let's now use that and kind of segue to community culture deal. How are we going to define the two going forward so we can separate the two? Because I agree with you. They're separate.
Yeah.
How so?
Buying a gun, people who say, the people who have deluded themselves, and I love you and bless your heart, I'll do a little Southern thing there, bless your heart. But people on our side who have said things like, well, the more gun owners, the better, because that's good for us, because blah, 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 blah. Being a gun owner doesn't make you a patriot. There are a lot of people in this world that own guns that are not on your side.
Oh, okay.
Go to Chicago.
Well,
tell me, if you're a Crip or a Blood and you possess a firearm, you own it, right? Don't give me this lawful gun owners thing. You own it, right? You possess an object. Are they our allies? Are those people our allies?
No, of course not. Look, you can have a law-abiding gun owner, and I will break it down. Law-abiding gun owner, that's a socialist, America-hating dirtbag that I would never invite into my home, who is not part of my community. I don't want that person as part of my community. That person has a gun because maybe for the right reasons, because they're just as nervous as me and they have every right to own the gun. Let me make that clear. That person who thinks differently than me has every right to own that firearm. I applaud them for that. Good for them. But don't you dare trying to put and do I want to welcome that political foe into my house when I know that person has other issues that are more important than that gun? I mean, these are great philosophical questions to discuss, and we can go down a bunch of different rabbit holes, but they're all going to come out the same place, Paul. They are. Because as I said, that person cannot be anything more than what they are. And that's just a Democrat or a socialist or a communist or a Marxist or a liberal or a progressive, however they want to define themselves, that owns guns. Good for them. You're not on my playing field, pal, and you never will be. But you know what? I'll continue to fight for your rights. How about that? So let's go there, Paul. Talk to me. Did we lose
He's there.
Paul? Paul,
No.
we got you?
Let me check again.
Okay, looks like we're having a little bit of maybe it's the administration. We don't want to lose Paul. We want to keep this conversation alive with Paul. If not, I've got lots of other stuff to talk with you about. Here's the frustrating part.
Keep going.
Paul, can you hear me now?
No, he's not here yet.
Okay, he's not back yet. Okay. So again, this is a topic that rabbit hole-ish, absolutely no question about it. But here's where you will never, ever, 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 I don't care who you are, I don't care what you stand for, I don't care what your position, I will never back down from this ever. I love gun owners simply because they're gun. I love that. I think gun owners, for the most part, many of them, most of them, they're fixable by virtue of the fact, some of them, not all, can be fixed, but not all. Paul, do we have you back?
Yeah, I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you back now. You could probably hear me. I don't know if you could or not. So,
what was happening was I got nothing. You just disappeared. But I'm sure it's just the NSA reconnecting.
Yeah,
but anyway,
sure go ahead, guys. We know you're listening. It's okay.
Yeah, and fornicate su madre. All right. So, can they be fixed? Maybe. Here's the deal: you can't fix them. They have to fix themselves. A liberal is like an alcoholic. You can't fix an alcoholic. An alcoholic is not going to get fixed until they, A, admit they have a problem, and B, reach rock bottom. So if you've got a liberal socialist neighbor who just bought their first gun this year, and look at me, I'm a gun owner, woohoo, you can't fix them. The only way that they can be fixed is for them to come to their own realization that they have a problem.
Right now,
and that problem is liberalism.
That's true. And here's where you see, I sleep well at night because I don't have to reconcile my lifestyle and my beliefs with something. I'm in line here. I vote my guns. I fight for my rights. I do it vocally. I do it publicly. I do it in print. I do it over the airwaves. And I'm never going to, that's just what I do. When I go to bed at night, I sleep well. I don't wrestle with that. Oh, am I going to be, what's happening here? I don't, look, I'm glad I can wear a shirt that my politics would agree with when I were to walk out on that range. And I don't have to worry about hiding who I voted for when I went to a gun range. And there are some people who would say, you know what? Then we're not being welcoming enough. That person should be able to wear a Biden-Harris shirt at the gun range all day long and not take any flack for it. Should they, Paul?
Yeah, that's like Jews for Hitler. That's like that short-lived movement, Jews for Hitler.
That was short-lived, Ari. When we come back, we're going to continue the conversation. It's provocative, but we're going to go deeper into it with Paul. And then we're going to cover some other fun stuff, too. So don't go anywhere. Stick around. Fun program coming up with Paul Markel. The second half of the fastest hour in radio is upon us. We'll be back right after this. Construction begins on the new AAR building on Monday. How many days did you last before you got booted out of Facebook again?
6. Less than a week. Here we go. 30.
Back to Armed American Radio's Daily Defense with Mark Walters.
You are back with Armed American Radio's Daily Defense. I am Mark Walters, and I am filling your prescription for freedom today and every day across America over the nation's airwaves. I love that, filling your prescription for freedom. We are having provocative, no, it's not really a provocative conversation, but it's a necessary conversation, and it's one that I intend on having with multiple guests, and it will evolve. I promise you, as we begin to put together, and trust me, I'm taking lots of notes from my guests as we break this down and we put this argument forward, going forward. Here, and you are in the gunbroker.com studios, and we're going to talk about it on the Crossbreed Holsters microphone, and all of it is being presented today by X Insurance. I'm talking with Paul Markel, student of the gun. Paul, I got another great comment. Got a lot of great comments here from those watching the show. Michael Kreitzer says, I posed this question over YouTube. Should we support efforts from the liberal side of the fence to rid their party of the gun control plank of the platform? For instance, Liberal Gun Owners Group is trying this. I'm not a lib, but this is something I can get behind. If the Dems no longer try gun control, that's a win for the 2A community, isn't it? Or is this just smoke and mirrors? Now, Paul's laughing like crazy. So you have the Liberal Gun Owner Group, okay, saying, hey, and I'm gonna read you something. And I don't remember where I got this, but it is, I did get it, and I want to get this because it fits very well with this. Let me find this quickly. I actually mentioned this on another radio program I was part of the other day, and I want you to hear this. It was I believe it was a text or something that somebody had sent me. I don't even remember where it came from. I just screen grabbed it. And here's what it said. I, for one, am tired of getting branded as a lib blank, can't say the word, just because I don't vote Republican. I care about my 2A just as much as any conservative. We need to stick together. You don't care about it as much as me if you're voting for the party of gun grabbing. Take it away, Paul.
Yeah, here we go with Jews for Hitler again. But the
you can't even get it out.
This guy, it's hurting me. It's hurting my stomach, man.
I have to ask these questions,
left.
Paul. I'm a host. I have to go there.
No. The delusion on the left. They're like, well, what about liberal gun owners? They're going to make the Democrats take gun control out of their platform. When is the last time the ruling class Democrats listened to their party?
Never. Show me one. Show me one politician. And let's go here. See, here's the rabbit hole.
Bernie Sanders.
You cannot avoid the politicians. To do so, look, you might as well just ride into town on your unicorn, okay? And that thing might as well just be farting fairy dust, because that's where you are. You've got to get your head out of your patootie. The reality on the ground is the Democrat Party is never going to listen to the liberal gun owners. Get it through your heads. It's written in stone in their party. Go, Paul.
They don't listen to any of their people. That's the thing. Their voters are literally the definition, the clinical definition of insane. Do I need to remind you guys?
Do it. Remind us.
In 2016, the Democrat base said, "We love Bernie. We love Bernie," and the ruling class Democrats said, "Shut up. We don't care what you like, who you want. It's not your choice. We'll pretend like it is." But then Clinton puts her hand puppet in charge of the DNC. They create these super majority, or what was it? Super PACs or super.
Yeah, whatever.
What are they? You know what I'm talking about.
Super Democrats. I know.
Yeah, miracle upon miracle. Hillary Clinton gets a nomination. And all of the on the street Democrats are like, but that's not who we wanted. Doesn't matter. Did the on the street? All right, let's go back 9 months ago. The on the street Democrats were not screaming for Sniffy Joe or his prostitute running mate. They weren't screaming for either of them. Okay, she had to drop out because she had like a less than 1% approval rating
that's
amongst
a legitimate.
Democrat
She had
voters.
less than 1% in the primaries. That's right. Wildly unpopular.
And Sniffy Joe was way behind Bernie, but it doesn't matter because the elite have anointed. And the fact that a quote-unquote liberal gun owner would say, well, we're going to force the party to take gun control out. Who told you get a voice? You are a useful idiot.
All right, so
Democrat voters are quite frankly useful idiots.
Let's start. Let's go here again. Again, I love this conversation. This is going to be important going forward. I'm telling you, because there's factions on the right that tell us that this is what we should be doing, that we should be welcoming that person into the gun community, which I still don't even know the description of that yet. That's why we were talking about it before, which I love the fact, Paul, that you brought up culture and community. Culture and community. So we're going to break that down. I'm going to take some time over the next days and weeks, spend some time breaking that down. Let's look at the culture. Let's look at the actual definitions, and then let's define it properly. Because gun community, what the hell is the gun community? Somebody that owns a gun? No, not everybody that owns a gun is welcome in my community. Let's make sure we get that very clear. And you're right, because now we talk about whether or not these people believe, liberal gun owners believe, that they can change the party. Now, let me say this. I applaud their effort. I do. I applaud their sincerity if they believe they can do it. However, these people are sleeping on one of Mike Lindell's pillows in a pipe and dreaming. They're pipe dreaming. They're not going to change Chuck Schumer's mind, okay? It isn't going to happen. While you sit there and waste your time trying to do that, claiming you want to be involved in my community, we'll be on the streets spending our money. Oh, Angry Mark is ready to pop. Angry Mark is ready to pop. We'll be spending our money. We'll be spending our time. We'll be working behind the scenes. We'll be writing. We'll be fighting. We'll be doing the dirty work on your behalf. So I'm glad you get to benefit from everything we provide you with our efforts. In the meantime, you know what? Because we are who we are and we do love freedom and our constitutional rights, we're still going to do it on your behalf. Go, Paul, please.
When you say I applaud your effort, that's like walking next door and seeing your TikTok neighbor digging a hole, and you're like, hey, what are you doing there, buddy? And he says, I'm going to dig a hole to China. You're like, all right, I applaud your effort, bro. He's not getting there.
Oh,
and these TikToks in the Democrat Party are like, oh, we're gonna duper-duper-derp. No, you're not. You're gonna do what you're told. That's what you're gonna do.
You're gonna fall in line, or you're gonna get out of line.
And do what you're told.
Or you're gonna get out of line. It's that simple. And we've seen enough evidence of that. But it's. I can't say this surprises me. When you look back, Paul, let's go back to Clinton, okay? Hey, you leave my wife alone. No, I'm not going to leave your wife alone. Let's go back to Clinton.
Your wife's a criminal.
No question. Let's go back to gun confiscation, the Australian model, she called it. Well, I believe the Australian model, she said, is something we should be looking at the U.S. The Australian model was, give me your guns. I'm going to take them from you. I'm going to give you a little stipend here, a little pittance, and I'm going to tell you that I bought it back from you. Then I'm going to put them in big piles, and I'm going to destroy them. That's what Hillary Clinton's model was, that she felt was a good model for us here in the United States. So when you hear that and you agree philosophically with her and her agenda in other areas, left-wing agenda, whatever it may be. Maybe it's, like I said, it could be anything. It could be global warming. It could be abortion. It could be, just pick whatever their agenda is. Big government, higher taxes, whatever it is. You agree with those things more than you do your right to bear arms. Otherwise,
you would be voting your right to bear arms. And if you're not voting your right to bear arms, the question becomes, again, philosophically, should I let you in my tent? You know where I stand.
No.
Paul Markel, student of the gun. We've got one more segment. What a great program today. Love shows like this. I'm gonna take a breather during the break. God dang. Love it when Angry Mark comes out. We'll be back right after this. Don't go away. # free Angry Mark. I love it. Another show just for Angry Mark. Corey, I've actually thought about that. Let me pop over here. I've thought about that. I mean, just a solid rant and rave, maybe a separate podcast. Yeah, wouldn't that be something? Ooh.
Rantcast.
Oh, that would be really, really good. Really good. I love that # free Angry Mark. Isn't that wonderful? Yeah, Vern, you're right. I mean, this is a great program. I wish I had another couple hours. Chalk that up to Greg not knowing how to stop the clock, for gosh sakes.
I keep telling you about that hour.
Clinton stated that he should be called Mr. Cigar. Speaking of cigars, I am going to have a Perdomo Habano after the show today. And I don't know why it's hard for people to get this. You're a bourbon drinker, Greg. I know you like Knob Creek, right? Don't you like Knob Creek? Something like that?
Knob Creek is fine. I like TX whiskey as well.
TX.
And
or was it Bobby that used to drink the Knob Creek?
that's Bobby, yeah.
Okay, so I apologize. But regardless, when I was out and about, with a lot of really cool guys over the last, some Blackwater guys you're going to be hearing from Jim. He's coming on the program. These guys were hardcore. Great guys. Spent a lot of time with them. And we ate at some wonderful places. If you know anything about Naples, Florida, some very, very high-end restaurants. It's all kind of like that in Naples. But the bourbon menu was everything from the Kentucky, everything, you could buy a glass of Pappy, 10-year-old, 12-year-old, 15-year-old, 20-year-old, 23-year-old. And, of course, the price went up accordingly, up to about $150 for the Pappy 23 for a 1-ounce neat pour. But everybody there was thrilled that they could get the Four Roses small batch. I'm thinking, what are you so thrilled about that for? That's third shelf where I'm at. I get that stuff all day long. So I grabbed a bottle of it. Just because I'm thinking maybe I've been missing something. To me, it was not that big of a deal. So I'm going to enjoy a little bit of small batch Four Roses and a cigar after the show today. You know why? Because I can. Because I'm free. A free man.
For now.
We got 30 yet? Nope.
No.
Would you say pour an ounce?
Said for now.
For now. Oh, well, yeah, that's true. Good point.
Because censorship and the First Amendment is really at stake right now.
Well, it's at stake big time, and I'm angry about it. Maybe Brian's got to mention here. Maybe release Angry Mark in a regular format with Professor Paul. Maybe we should do a Angry Mark and Paul segment. It'd be easy to do. And you know how Paul pushes the limits with as you heard him in the other segment, if you were paying attention. The English and foreign language stuff combined.
Yeah.
You didn't have to knock that out, did you?
No, it was fine.
All right.
I thought about it, but it was fine. Oh, we're coming up on it.
All right.
All right, here we go. 30.
The following segment of Armed American Radio is being brought to you by Defender Coffee. When you drink Defender Coffee, you're making a donation to a gun rights organization of your choice that protects and defends your freedoms. Welcome back to the show. I had some Defender
Defender Coffee brought to me during one of the breaks. So here it is in the Defender mug. Defender Coffee, the promo code is AAR. Quick business fix right now. Leadslingerswhiskey.com. Second Amendment Foundation, SAF.org. Make sure to join us over there. We'll take $5, I can promise you. We'll take 50 cents. We'll take 50 cents. We'll take 50 grand. Whatever you can afford, we need your help. MyPillow.com. Are you kidding me? I mean, this guy, Mike Lindell, is thrown off everything simply for supporting his president. This is cancel culture 101. Here's how you fix cancel culture. You support Mike Lindell. And it's real simple to do. You let him know that Armed American Radio Nation supports him and his business, which they're trying to cancel. 1,500 American jobs, 1,500 American taxpayers, the factory in Minnesota, all the businesses that surround it that benefit from those employees that Mike employs, and the millions of Americans who enjoy his products, my family included. MyPillow.com, radio listener special tab, click it, use the promo code AAR, buy something from the guy. That's how you stick it right back in their face. You support the people they hate, kind of like not going to Dick's and going somewhere else to buy what you would normally get from those idiots. That's how you get back in their face. That's what we do. That's how we cancel culture. That's how it works. And MyPillow is just a tremendous, tremendous example. Car Arms, gunbroker.com. This is the gunbroker.com studios. If you can't find it on your shelves, you can find it at Gunbroker. I can promise you that. It's there. Just join. It's 100% free. North American Arms, we talk about them every single week. And Front Sight, I got to tell you, there's a couple things going on behind the scenes. I've been in conversation today with all the bunch of fine folks in Arizona. I'll be speaking out there on the 20th. I'll give you more information about that as I get it. I'm hopeful we'll be able to be there in another booth with X Insurance. We're working on that behind the scenes. We're looking at probably 7,000 to 10,000 people expected at this one. I'll clue you in on all of that when I know all of the details. But Front Sight we're looking at in April as well. Frontsight.com. Ignatius Piazza working behind the scenes to secure your freedoms. Frontsight.com/MARK. That's all you got to do. You get the free certificate for listening to Ignatius. Doesn't cost you a dime. And guess what? You help support Armed American Radio and keep the program on the air. We desperately need to stay together right now through all this garbage going on with that, tolerant left. Those, liberal gun owners over there that love their gun rights but tend to support the people that want to take everything away from us. There's the unicorn again. Please support Ignatius Piazza. Frontstate.com/MARK. And, of course, Lead Slingers Whiskey. We mentioned that. Let's go back now to Paul Markel, student of the gun. Paul, I apologize. I had to get some business out of the way. Got to do that. Welcome back inside.
So, Mark, did you just make a 50-cent reference?
A 50-cent reference? Yeah, well, I said we'll take 50 cents.
You just made a 50-cent reference.
We'll take $50,000, too. What about 50?
You didn't get my DMX reference? Come on, man.
Oh, no. Okay.
Come on.
That's a whole different show. Let me read you some other stuff here before I get sidetracked, which I will do. I will get sidetracked. People are loving the show today. Angry Mark should do a premium segment. Add Paul M for the final touch. That's a possibility. That's not the first one here. They're saying that we should put together an Angry Mark and Angry Paul regular segment for the show. We should do that. That's something we can consider. Unleashing Angry Mark in a regular format with Professor Paul would be great. That's from Brian. Okay. The show is moving right along today. And Paul, I think like listeners and viewers and some of the comments I'm saying, you're spot on. It's important because you and I didn't discuss this, but we seem to be on the same page going forward because we're seeing a lot of nonsense and pseudo-intellectual junk on the internet, and coming from a lot of liberal gun owners now that maybe they feel emboldened because Biden's there. Maybe they feel like they need an excuse. I don't know what they need. But guess what? My tent is zipped. You got work to do on your side. When you get through to all those people you think you can fix, I'll consider opening my tent. I don't know what that makes me. Maybe a patriot? Maybe not. Tell me.
No, brother, I know we had a little, at the beginning of the show, we had a little issue. But, this we've got to face reality here. The gobbledygook that our community has been spewing for decades about, we got to have an open tent and we got to invite everyone and the more people the better, and the more gun owners the more freedom. Wake up, open your eyes and look around. We have more gun owners in America than ever in our history, and we don't have more freedom. Our freedom, our liberty, this country, the republic, is swirling. Okay, somebody hit the silver handle and we're swirling, and all of that despite more gun owners than ever. What does that tell you? It tells you that pap, that pablum, that baby food that they were spoon feeding us about more gun owners equals more freedom was crap. It's not about objects. It's about allegiance.
All right. So let me say that. Isn't that like letting the enemy in the wire? Isn't that letting the enemy inside the gates?
Yeah.
Why would we do that?
Well, let's bring these people in that hate us, that hate our president, hate our leaders. Let's bring them in. Give them a big smooch and a hug.
Let me say this, okay, because I'm old enough to remember black and white TV, okay? I'm old enough to remember the TV going snowy white, and I remember standing up when the Star Spangled Banner came on at midnight when the TVs went off the air until the next one. I remember that. I remember my dad saying, "Get me the remote," or go before the remotes, get up and turn the channel. Because you had to actually get up and physically turn the channel. I remember when TVs were part of a big stereo system, that had a, turntable in them, big console things. The point that I'm getting at with all this is I remember when Americans then thought differently than Americans. I don't have enough time. We got about a minute. I'm going to stop that conversation and save it for another show because we're going to run out of time. Paul, let's do this. Let's agree that you and I believe, you and I collaborate on this together. I think that you and I, if we did this, we can come up with some great writings here and some great future shows, because I believe this is incredibly important for members of our own community to hear, okay? That we
didn't even talk about ASS yet.
30.
We got 30 seconds. I don't have enough time.
We didn't talk about Ammo Swap Saturday. We're going to have to get back together and do that again. Well,
let me ask you this. Today's Thursday. How'd you like to close the week out with me tomorrow? Can you do tomorrow as well?
Yes, I can.
Good.
Yes.
Paul Markel is going to come back tomorrow, and we're going to talk about AMS. I got all the what is it? It's Ammo Swap
ASS.
Saturday. Yeah, ASS, Ammo Swap Saturday. I actually got that text when I was down. I got the text when I was in Naples. Paul Markel is going to come with us tomorrow, and just what a crazy week it's been getting back from Florida and Immokalee and all that fun stuff with those guys. And putting Paul on for tomorrow as well, too. So there you go. That means I don't have to work as hard tomorrow. Thank you, Paul Markel, student of the gun. He will be back tomorrow. Today's show is a tremendous amount of fun. It's an instant classic best of. I can promise you that. You will no doubt see more Angry Mark, and you'll probably see some Angry Paul, and we'll keep it all clean because that's what we do. We're professionals here. I can promise you that. Here's the deal. Until we meet with Paul Markel tomorrow, studentofthegun, by the way.com, studentofthegun.com. 15. Remember this, carry on, carry often, carry absolutely everywhere. Never leave your cave without your club. No self-respecting caveman will never be caught outside his cave without his club. Enjoy the rest of your day. We'll see you on the radio tomorrow.
You've just filled your prescription for freedom with Mark Walters, presented by X Insurance. X Insurance on the Armed American Radio Network.
Good stuff today. Hot show. The dragon is Angry Mark, right? No, the dragon is not Angry Mark. I'm going to create a graphic for Angry Mark, though. That will be really cool. I've actually got guys that will do that for me.
that created all these other really cool graphics. Can you imagine that one? Oh, let's see what they can put together for that. Martin, just so you know, I am getting ready, I believe, to jump to the maybe 1100 Pro UEs, right? I think I might jump up. Why? Why not? I mean, these things are so good. It's incredible. I can't even imagine. And I believe you said you had 1100 Pros or something like that. It may be the 8s. I don't know. But I think I'm going to step up just because. I mean, these things are just incredible. Yeah, Paul is great. I hope you enjoyed the show as much as I enjoyed it today. I love bringing shows like that to you. Just so much fun. And he's so good. And he's so right about that. But understand something, what we're talking about here, okay? This is a question. We're going to have to resolve this as gun owners and activists. Let me put that together. As gun rights activists, I do this for a living, okay? We're going to have to resolve these issues. They're going to have to be dealt with. And it's not going to be easy to do. Because there's a large faction, I don't know how large it is, but it's out there. There's a faction on our side that says, we should let everybody in, blah, blah, blah. And I say, no. Some of those, you got to earn your way in here, pal. Okay? You don't earn your way in here, in my estimation, by voting for those two kooks. That's not earning your way inside my house. Not going to happen, all right? So, and I don't care about that whole political difference thing. I have lots of friends that think different politically. I couldn't care less. Good for you. But when it comes to fighting for our freedoms together, going to be a fun conversation going forward. Vern was born in 62. I know others who were born in 62. Oh, so Martin, you do have the 11s. You know what I'm talking about then. Think they'll be great for this and just flat out music? I mean, they got to be. These are freaking unbelievable. So I'm going to guess the same, right? Padron 4000 cigar or the Primo Habano? I think the Primo. I think I'm going to do the Primo today. Kind of running out of the Padrones. I got to go get another box. Yeah, I think you're right. If they're anything, these things are incredible. The 11s have got to be mind-boggling. Aliens can still see us. Yes, they can. If it's late April, you can make it to front site. John, I'm going to have more information for you on some of this stuff. I will. Time is always of the essence. But late February, thank God that event was not the first week of February. I would not have been able to go because they're breaking ground construction on the when I say building, I'm not talking about, but I'm building a structure on my property. That is going to be about 12 by 24, very cool front porch, So it's going to be pretty bomb with the studio inside it. And that way we can keep it close to the home, number one. But they're going to be breaking ground. The I guess you'd call it its base or foundation has already been built. So we're excited about that. Won't take them long to build it. We'll have some work to do, insulating and some electrical and climate control and that kind of stuff going up. Put another wall in there and a separate little room. But we're going to do all that. Probably be in it by March, depending on the electrical. And but had that Arizona issue popped up anywhere in the first week of February, I would have had to cancel. But it looks solid that I'll be out there, and I am a confirmed speaker on the event list, along with a couple sheriffs out there and some others. It's going to be it's Arizona, okay, and it's going to be at the Capitol grounds. Vendors, believe me, these guys know how to rock it in Arizona, and I can't wait to get out there. So I will keep you posted on that when I know all of the details so that I can give you everything. And the April event, working towards that with Front Sight, also working in conjunction with the folks at AZCDL, hopefully, and I'll be able to talk with them about that when I'm out there. So You guys rock today. Appreciate it. Lots of great comments. Glad you enjoyed the show today. I did too, even with a few bumps in the road. Here's the deal. The podcast is going to be up in just a couple minutes. The network will have the recording up, and we'll go from there, okay? Greg, I forgot to disconnect you, so I'm going to disconnect you now. You need anything?
One more thing. Who's going to give it to you?
X is going to give it to me.
X gon' give it to you. He gon' give it to you. X gon' give it to you. He gon' give
Yeah, that's got to be part of the show. No, that's copyrighted. We can.
It's only 4 seconds. I think we can get away with it. But
believe it or not, on internet, you got to have. It's ridiculous. That's why, because Salem has all the licensing. Okay, but if it's internet, it doesn't matter. Those don't apply. It's a separate license. Believe me, I found that out the hard way.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on the internet portion of it. We don't have the licensing for everything. There are like a list of artists that we can't use.
Right.
But most networks that have radio stations to play contemporary music typically have the licensing, but I don't believe we have it. But it wouldn't, if we played 4 seconds or 30 seconds of it, we'd still be all right.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be, but you never know. I mean,
internet's a whole different story, and Facebook is picky as they are.
Yeah, I mean, who knows what they pick up? I don't know. I played copyrighted music today at the beginning. We'll see what they do. Many cases, they'll come back and say that this portion has been blocked. Or muted, yeah, because it was copyrighted. If you disagree, go ahead. I couldn't.
Blah blah blah.
Right.
You do post this stuff on your actual website, so I mean,
not yet, but I will. Will.
You need a player on there so that you can just do the podcast there, and everybody can go to your website.
We have those. We need the video, and we're working on that now. The guys, I'm getting information. The guys, we're being slow intentionally on the website. I want everything to move when we launch. It's a done deal.
Sure.
So the site's going to look really, really nice, and I'll be exposing that here in the very near future. So, all right, dude. I will see you tomorrow with Professor Paul. It's going to be another raucous show. Good program today.
Sure, man. All right. I'll see you tomorrow.
See you, brother. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, Facebook guys and gals, I'm out. Enjoy the rest of your day. We'll have a podcast up for you shortly. Good program today. Make sure to like it and share it and get it out there. See you on the radio tomorrow, Professor Paul. Oh, you know what? How about we leave you with this?
fire, the winter's done.
Let's leave you with a little of that.
Sometimes she gazed across the plain with a look that I couldn't name. Man, I wondered if she'd stay with me. Sit down there, they don't know what they're talking about. Sit down there, it's only make-believe. Sit down there, don't say those things you're screaming out. It was me, it was me. Well, it was me they saw in the liquor store that night. It was me with a gun on that cashier. And when it went off, it was me who took flight. the shadows that night. And that hold up man running from the liquor store. All they say she looked exactly like my wife. Said Aunt Mary, they don't know what they're talking about. Said Aunt Mary, it's only make believe. Said Aunt Mary, don't say those things you're screaming out. It was me, it was me, it was me. So blame me. If a crime's been done, if they need a reason, I'm the one. Blame me. Mary, blame me.
All right, great stuff. Chris Knight. Gotta Fly. Podcast is ready to rock and roll. Just got it loaded. We'll have it cut up for you up on the scene in just a couple minutes.